Welcome back to Market Fatafat, show where we are highlighting all the counters that are in focus, either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technicals. And with this, let me welcome on board Osho Krishnan on the technical side from Angel One. Hi Osho, very good afternoon and thank you so much for your time. Your first stock is PVR Inox. How are the charts looking like for this one? Has been in the move. We have seen moves in this particular counter, but what's next for PVR?
Very good afternoon, everyone. Well, first of all, talking about PVR, then PVR we are witnessing some kind of consolidation breakout. On the daily time frames, PVR is hovering just above the major of its short-term moving averages. And in the recent period, that means in today's session, we have seen a very strong upside movement, which has been backed by decent trading volumes also. So we are expecting that from here onwards, we can expect a decent up move. The immediate range that one can expect is of 1720 to 1730 on the technical charts, and once the levels are got reached, then from there onwards we can see a very strong rebounds in the counter. So overall, technical setup looks very robust, and one should try to accumulate this counter at the current levels.
Right, so accumulate PVR at PVR Inox at current levels is what Osho has to say. A very good afternoon to you, Osho. But Ankita, coming to you, Tata Power, why is this one in the spotlight today?
Correct, Tata Power is in focus today. Now that is, on the back of the fact that the Tata Power Renewable Energy Limited surpasses a significant milestone of 1.2 gigawatts capacity of group captive projects, and they also have a huge pipeline of renewable projects under finalization, which will further add to the capacity in the coming months. And on the back of that, Tata Power is in news, up almost 1% in trade.
Okay, moving on, let's shift focus to LIC then. And Osho, how are the charts looking like for LIC? Because if we see the past 6 months, the stock has given decent returns. But what's next for LIC then?
LIC has seen a decent correction from the zone of 680, 690 and currently hovering around the zone of 610. So on the technical charts, it is just the support zone of 200-day SMA. So 200-day SMA being a very strong technical support zone, we are expecting that from here onwards, one can expect the upward movement to start in LIC. On the downside, it is very limited. 595 to 600 is the zone which one should keep as a stop loss. And on the higher end, one can expect the immediate target of 635 followed by 660 in the short run. So overall, it is also at a very crucial levels, and one should try to accumulate the counter for short-term perspective.
Okay, moving on, and from the pharma space, right, Pharma is in focus today on the back of the news flow as the company has gotten US FDA approval for a seizures drug. This particular drug name is levetiracetam oral solution, and it is used for the treatment of seizures. Now, this particular market size of this particular drug is at $55 million in US as per IQVIA, and this product will be manufactured in the Bengaluru facility of Strides Pharma, and that's why this counter is in focus. And along with that, the company has also said that they have a target to launch 60 new products over the next 3 years in the US. They have given a forward guidance as well, and on the back of all this news flow, Strides Pharma is in focus, holding a gains of almost 1% as of now.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Som Distillery, a stock that has already seen an up move as much as 150%. That is year to date itself. If you look at the stock today, seeing a sharp gain of about 2.3%, and what is leading to the up move in today's trading session is the fact the company informed the exchanges that it's got the permission from the excise department to expand beer capacity at the Hassan plant. This is in the state of Karnataka. And post this announcement, you can see the stock price on your screen. That sharp up move coming in the stock after it actually got that nod, or from the exchanges, it got the nod, and from there on, building on to gains, 2.3% uptick coming in for Som Distilleries.
Okay, moving on then, and let's shift focus to Cochin Shipyard then. And Osho, how is this particular counter looking to you?
See, overall, the shipyards company or the logistics company are looking very positive as of now. Specifically about Cochin Shipyard, it has formed a very strong U-turn pattern on the technical charts. It has taken a support around the zone of 900, 920, and from there onwards, we can see a strong resurgence in this counter. So overall, on technical setup, the primary trend stays on the positive front, and we are expecting that from here onwards, as it has crossed the zone of 1100, one can expect 1200 on the technical charts in a very short-term period. overall it is having a very decent risk reward ratio also. On the downside, 1050 is a very strong support zone, and as I have mentioned, on the higher end, 1200 is the zone that we are expecting the counter to reach in the short run.
All right, moving on then, let's talk about the space that has been buzzing off late, and that has to be the realty sector, in particular Suntech Realty. Vamakshi, why is the stock seeing a sharp up move in trade today?
Well, Cheryl, the stock is soaring in the trading session today after the company, in fact, after Motilal Oswal came out with a brokerage note on Suntech Realty. They have initiated coverage on this counter with a buy rating, target price of almost 640 rupees per share, which actually implies a significant upside of almost 40% from the current levels. Now, they believe that Suntech could be one of the biggest beneficiaries of the strong demand, and this is on account of a couple of factors, which includes the company's multi-micro market presence, luxury offerings across price points, and proven execution track record. In fact, given all of these factors, the company is expected to post a sales CAGR of almost 25% from FY23 to FY26. In fact, the company is gearing for 2 to 3 new launches going ahead, which could in turn support this momentum. The company also has a very strong balance sheet. The debt to equity ratio is 0.1 times. They have robust cash flows, and they have a recent platform initiative with IFC, which could enhance its future growth potential. In fact, the company is anticipating to deliver almost 4,500 to 5,000 odd crores worth of units from projects in Naigaon and Goregaon, which could in turn lead to a 72% revenue CAGR and a multifold growth in the net profit for the company. So all engines firing for Suntech Realty, and that is the reason why Motilal Oswal has initiated coverage on this counter with a buy rating, and as you can see, the stock is soaring in trade.
Okay, moving on, let's shift focus to two counters at once, that is CONCOR as well as IGL. Both of these counters are together in focus as they have signed an MOU for setting up LNG infrastructure. Both LNG and LCNG facilities shall be installed at Dadri, Gautam Buddha Nagar terminal of CONCOR, wherein IGL and CONCOR also agree to explore the possibility of transporting LNG in future through the railway rakes from LNG terminals near the seaports to the desired location within India. Now, both the entities shall jointly examine the possibility of using the LNG-fired engines in place of existing diesel-fired engines in various terminals of CONCOR, and based on the experience of initially planned LNG facility at CONCOR Dadri terminal, replicating the same at over other terminals in the future may be taken up progressively. So that's the plan. But for now, they have gone ahead and signed an MOU, and that's why both of these counters are in focus and holding on to the gains as of now.
All right, moving on, Osho, let's talk about Voltas. If you look at this particular counter, has not done much actually through the course of the week or the months. For the matter of fact, been very subdued and a very steady return pattern over the last few months. What's your take coming in on Voltas? Do you think it will break that chain or break the pattern and now see a breakout?
See, as you have mentioned, Voltas recently has not performed well in the market, but looking at the recent development that we are witnessing, it has consolidated near the 200-day SMA for approximately 4 weeks. And in today's session, we are witnessing the consolidation breakout. So from here onwards, it is the first and early sign for a reversal kind of a pattern. But we are expecting, because as it has been consolidating near the 200-day SMA, so we are expecting that from here onwards, one can expect a very strong up move in Voltas. And looking at the overall space in which Voltas is currently at, so we are expecting that the overall space is looking very positive. Voltas is having the potential to test the zone of 880 in a very short run. And when I'm saying short run, it might be on a positional basis, a week, or might be more than a week. So approximately one can try to accumulate this counter at current levels, keeping a stop loss of 820, 825, which is the 200-day SMA support zone. And on the higher end, one can expect 880 on a very short-term time frame.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Voltas, but let's move on. Let's talk about another Tata Group company, and that is Tata Steel for you. If you look at the stock price, last time I checked, Tata Steel was trending with gains of 1.5%, now holding on to gains of 1.2%. Key to note the fact that Tata Steel is gaining for 8 out of 9 trading sessions. Jefferies has come out with a note where they're saying they expect Tata Steel India's margins to expand in Q3, though the higher coking coal price poses some risk in Q4. What they are saying also is that the Indian steel demand has been strong. It's seen an uptick of as much as about 15% on a year-on-year basis in the April to October period. They are saying that blast furnace refining in Netherlands is expected to be completed by November to December, which should lift the profitability in quarter 4. They are also, however, gone ahead and they've cut the FY 24-26 EBITDA estimates by 6 to 22% and the EPS estimates by 16 to 45% on lower margins in the European business. However, they believe the fact that the India business margins will expand in Q3. The stock, as I said, is gaining 1.2%, is gaining for 8th consecutive or 8th session out of 9 sessions.
Okay, moving on, then let's shift focus to what Pite is doing. Osho, this is the counter that you have picked up, and on the consumer space, we have seen decent moves on this one, but for today, the stock is under pressure. But going ahead, do you believe that there is a case for rebound in Pite?
Yes, if I'll be talking about the technical parameters, then on Pidilite we are witnessing a inverted head and shoulder pattern. So overall, it is a very bullish reversal pattern that we are witnessing on the daily time frame. And again, it is placed at a very strong support zone. So from here onwards, even if we will be looking at the sloping trend line, it has given a trend line breakout in the previous third session. So from here onwards, one can expect a very decent up move. There will be a slow and gradual up move, but obviously we are expecting that the reversal is going to take place in the near future. On immediate basis, 2640 and 2650 is the zone that we are expecting Pidilite to get tested in the very short run, and once it get reached or once the target is getting achieved, then from there onwards we can see a very strong resurgence in the counter. So overall, it is at a very attractive level and one should try to accumulate the counter at the current levels only.
All right, moving on, Ankita, let's talk about ICICI Bank, and why is this one in the spotlight today?
That's correct, Cheryl. ICICI Bank is in focus today on the back of the fact that, ICRA Limited has assigned, a AAA stable to ICICI Bank's infrastructure bonds, and thereby, the ratings have been reaffirmed. And on the back of that, this particular counter is going to be in focus today.
Okay then, and but from the realty space, no stopping for Overo Reality. Vamakshi, tell us what's the latest news flow on this one.
Well, Srishti, the stock is in focus after the company has come out with an announcement. They said that they have launched the Forestville by Overo Realty. Now, this is the company's first luxury residential project in Kolshet, Thane, and with this project that the company has launched, it actually marks the company's foray into the Thane market. This project will consist of 5 residential towers. The company has in fact launched the first phase of development consisting of nearly 3 towers, and the apartments will comprise predominantly of 3-bedroom apartments starting from 1.87 odd crores. Now, this is important because brokerages are also highlighting that the Thane launch was important because the company was lagging its peers in terms of the sales growth. So an important development coming in for Overo Realty, and that is the reason why the stock is surging in trade today. As of now, the counter is up nearly 4.5%.
All right, Osho, talking about Tata Communications then, how is this one looking on the charts to you? Because if you look at Tata Communications, there was a period where there was no stopping for this particular counter, then it went to a consolidatory phase. And now if you look at Tata Communications, where do you see this one headed from here on? No doubt, in the last 6 months, 35 or 36 odd % return, but as you can see, it's consolidated for a bit, isn't it?
Yes, as you have mentioned, the counter is consolidating for over 2 weeks as of now. But what is very much interesting in this counter is that the range is getting narrower down. So even looking at the broader perspective, the counter has also retracted 50% on Fibonacci retracement from the recent fall of 1930 to 1550 odd levels. So it has already retracted 50%, and from here onwards one can expect the upward rally to continue because currently it is hovering near the cluster of exponential moving average, and the time it surpasses the zone of 1740, then from there onwards we can see again a very strong resurgence in the counter. So it is advisable to have this counter in the watch list. Once it surpasses the zone of 1740 on spot levels, then from there onwards we can expect approximately 1900 and 1940 to get retested for Tata Communication in very short term period.
Let's shift focus to Kaynes Technologies then, because this counter has been holding on to the gains of almost 2% in trade, and that's after the company gave out a presentation that they are building capabilities for OSAT and bare board PCB manufacturing, and the technology tie-up with global Electronics Malaysia for OSAT, wherein 12 lines by FY25 is what the company is looking forward to. The backward integration will enable greater supply chain resilience, is what the company has highlighted. Earlier today, we also spoke with the management, where they have said that the subsidies are available for OSAT and PCB segment as per the government, and the total outlay is around 3,550 odd crores for OSAT expansion, and they expect 1 to 1.5 times of asset turnover in the OSAT segment. So bullish commentary from Suntech management, and stock also holding on to the gains of over 2% right now. But with this, let's go across and listen out to what the management said. But all in all, they have given out very positive commentary, and they also added that they are looking to raise the funds via QIP that will be raised in the next 2 to 3 months. So that is another thing to look out forward when it comes to Kaynes Tech.
All right, and that is Kaynes Technology for you. A sharp up move coming in on that particular counter. But let's focus now on Reliance Industries, and that particular counter, in fact, is supporting the markets in today's trading session as well. Last time I checked, Reliance Industries was definitely trading upwards of about 1% or so. Now 1.3% coming in for that particular counter. Nomura has actually come out with a report for Reliance Industries, where they're saying Reliance Industries is best placed to gain from strong refining environment. They are also saying that the benchmark refining margins has surged by about 24% week on week to about $6.4 per barrel on 3% crude fall for the week ended November 19th, led by increase in the spreads across the products. They're saying that the blended marketing margins also rose to above nominal levels of about 3.6 rupees per litre last week from 1.6 rupees per litre earlier on. Also, what they're saying is that Reliance Industry will benefit from advantages crude oil sourcing that keeps their realized margins at significant premium to the benchmark margins. They're also saying that the Indian refiners may actually go ahead and consider reintroducing Venezuela crude, increasing Canadian crude imports due to higher discounts, and therefore Nomura believes that Reliance Industries is best placed to gain benefit from the surge in refining as well as marketing margins. And on back of that, you have Reliance supporting the margins with supporting the markets with gains of a 1.3% uptick.
Yes, that's the fundamental news flow on Reliance, and definitely supporting the markets. But what sort of a move is expected out of Reliance Osho going ahead? You have been tracking this on technicals. Tell us more on this.
See, overall, Reliance was on the downtrend. As we witnessed the previous 2 to 3 months, it was forming a base of lower lows, lower highs pattern. But in the recent period, in the recent 2 weeks, there has been some kind of consolidation in the counter, and today it has given a break in the current ongoing corrective phase, because as we have witnessed today, it has breached the previous swing low. So that means now the trend of down lower end has been ended, and from here onwards one can expect the uptrend to start. But being a very heavyweight counter, we are expecting that the upside movement will be very slow, but on a steady pace we are expecting 2420 to 2440 levels to get tested in the short term period, and once we breach those zones, then from there onwards there can be some bullish traction in the counter, and we can expect 2520 to 2540 levels in the coming future. But as of now, it is looking very attractive, and one should try to accumulate this counter. It is having a very strong presence in the market and hovering at a very strong support zone. So one should definitely try to accumulate at current levels for immediate upside target of 2440 levels.
Okay, that was about Reliance Industries on technicals. But with this, let's move on and shift focus to Vascon Engineers. Vamakshi, this is the counter that you have picked up. The stock has been on the roll, but how is the fundamental news supporting that?
Well, yes, Shrishti, the stock has been on a roll. As of now, the stock is trading higher by almost 3.3%, and that is because the company has received a letter of intent. This has been received from the Municipal Secretary's Department, Pimpri-Chinchwad Municipal Corporation, and this letter of intent is worth almost 357 crores. This is for construction of a general hospital building for PCMC Hospital in the Pune region, and in fact, the work has to be completed within 36 months from the date of acceptance. So given this letter of intent that has been signed with Vascon Engineers, the stock is soaring in trade. As of now, the stock is trading higher by almost 3.3%.
All right, that's Vascon Engineering. But Ankita, Kosar Electric, why is this one in focus?
Yes, Kosar Electric company is in focus because they said that the management has withdrawn the lockout at the company's unit number 15, which is situated in Budihal district of Bengaluru, and this will come into effect from the 20th of November. And furthermore, the management has also requested all workers through the labor union to report to work. And on the back of this news flow, the stock was surging 7% in the morning, has cooled off a bit and has come down to 3% as of now.
Okay, moving on, and let's focus then to Bharat Forge from the auto space, holding on to a decent gains of almost 1%, Osho. But what are the next levels that you are watching out for on Bharat Forge?
See, Bharat Forge has seen a very decent price-wise correction in the recent period. It has seen a correction from the zone of 1120, 1140 odd levels towards the 1000 odd levels. But from here onwards, there has been some traction that is pulling up this counter, and from here onwards one can expect the upside to continue on the higher end. The first resistance of the first target on the higher end is near about 1100 mark. It is also the bearish gap, and being a psychological level, it can be attracting some kind of resilience. But once it breaches those levels, then from there onwards again it has the potential to retest the 52 weeks high in the coming period. So overall it is looking very attractive, but more aggressiveness should be applied only once it crosses the zone of 1100.
Taking quickly the note of the flash on the bottom of your screen, we had the news earlier from SourceBase saying that Jindal Power will be looking to actually bid for Go First, but what sources have told agencies right now is that Jindal Power will not bid to take over Go First Airlines. So that's a significant development that coming in with respect to the Go First airline. Remember that they've been out of service for months now. There were reports that Jindal Power may look to bid for it, but what right now we are picking up from sources and from wire agencies is the fact that Jindal Power will not bid to take over Go First Airlines. So that's a crucial development coming on that particular front, Shrishti.
Well, yes, but let's get back to the stock markets then. And SBI Cards is in focus. Pharma discounter has been in the news for a couple of days now. But what's new in SBI Card for today?
Well, yes, Srishti, the stock has been in focus of late, mainly on account of the RBI increasing the risk weight on credit card receivables. And today, the stock is in focus on the back of a brokerage note that has come in from InCred. They've gone ahead and downgraded their rating on this counter from add to reduce, and also significantly cut their target price from 1000 rupees per share to 600 rupees per share. They believe that the SBI, that the company is the worst hit amongst its peers on account of the increase in the risk weight on credit card receivables. They've gone ahead and moderated their growth and margin assumptions for SBI Cards. They're assuming a nearly 4.1% capital consumption on an immediate basis for SBI Cards on the back of this increase in risk weight. They're expecting a gradual rise in the cost of funds as well, and this in turn could hurt the margins for SBI Cards. Not just that, they've gone ahead and cut their EPS estimates by 12.8% for FY25 and 17.2% for FY26. So InCred believes that SBI Card, there is not a positive outlook on account of the RBI increasing weight, and that is why they've gone ahead and downgraded their rating on this counter to reduce, also cut their target price significantly, and that is the reason why the stock is reeling under pressure. As of now, the stock is down nearly 1%.
All right, so that is SBI Card for you, and indeed the last talk on this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much, Osho, Ankita, as well as Vamakshi joining on the show, and Kunal as well, for taking our viewers through all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. And with that, we are totally out of time on this edition of Market Fatafat. Goodbye from Shrishti, myself, and the team that put the show together. Stay tuned. Closing trades coming up next.